In 1992, PepsiCo did something nobody expected. They made Pepsi invisible. Crystal Pepsi. It looked like Sprite, it tasted like Pepsi, and America's brain absolutely hated it. PepsiCo spent over $40 million launching it. The first year, $470 million in sales. But within 2 years, it was dead. Here's what they didn't see coming. Coca-Cola wasn't going to compete with Crystal Pepsi. They were going to sabotage it. This is the story of a marketing trend that went too far, a product that confused your brain, and one of the most brilliant acts of corporate warfare ever executed. To understand Crystal Pepsi, you have to understand the early 1990s. America was obsessed with one word: clear. Clear dish soap, clear deodorant, clear mouthwash, even clear beer. Clearly Canadian sparkling water was flying off shelves. Zima, clear malt liquor, launched in 1993 and became a phenomenon. The psychology was simple. Clear meant pure. Pure meant natural. Natural meant healthy. This was the fat-free, sodium-free, preservative-free era. The environmental movement was growing. People wanted products that looked clean. And at PepsiCo headquarters, a David Novak executive was paying attention. Novak looked at this trend and asked a question that would change everything. What if we made Pepsi, but clear? Think about it. Pepsi's brown color comes from caramel coloring. It's purely cosmetic. It doesn't affect the taste. So why not remove it? Position it as pure cola for the health-conscious 90s. Same great Pepsi taste, none of the artificial-looking color. PepsiCo's leadership loved it. They greenlit the project with a massive budget. The R&D team got to work. They stripped out the caramel coloring, tweaked the formula slightly, and created something the world had never seen: Crystal Pepsi. Test markets in Dallas, Denver, and Sacramento in early 1992 showed promise. People were intrigued. The media buzz was building. The decision was made. National launch December 1992. They had no idea what was coming. PepsiCo didn't just launch Crystal Pepsi. They exploded it onto the American consciousness. $40 million in marketing, a Super Bowl ad in 1993 featuring a parody of Right Said Fred's I'm Too Sexy. Television commercials everywhere. Print ads in every major magazine, celebrity endorsements. Van Halen's Right Now became the unofficial anthem of Crystal Pepsi. The tagline was perfect. You've never seen a taste like this. It was positioned as the future of cola. Hip, young, cool, pure. And it had to be in a clear bottle because the whole point was seeing the clarity. December 1992, Crystal Pepsi hit store shelves nationwide, and Americans went crazy for it. Not because it tasted better, not because it was healthier, it wasn't. It had the same sugar and caffeine as regular Pepsi. They bought it because they were curious. First year sales, $470 million. Crystal Pepsi captured 1% of the entire soft drink market immediately. For a new product, that's massive. The media couldn't stop talking about it. Saturday Night Live parodied it. Talk shows debated it. It became a cultural phenomenon. At PepsiCo headquarters, executives were celebrating. They'd done it. They'd created the next big thing. Except something was wrong. Here's the problem PepsiCo didn't anticipate. Your brain doesn't just taste with your tongue. It tastes with your eyes. Multisensory perception, it's basic neuroscience. When you see something clear in a soda bottle, your brain expects lemon lime, Sprite, 7-Up, Sierra Mist. So when you take a sip of Crystal Pepsi and taste cola, your brain rejects it. It's called cognitive dissonance. The mismatch between what you see and what you taste creates an unpleasant sensation. Even though Crystal Pepsi tasted almost exactly like regular Pepsi, people said it tasted wrong. Food scientists have proven this with wine. Give people the same white wine, but color one glass red with food coloring. People will describe completely different flavors, even though it's the exact same wine. It tastes weird. It tastes like Pepsi, but off. I don't like it. And here's where PepsiCo's $470 million success became a $470 million problem. People bought it once, out of curiosity, to try the new thing, to see what the hype was about. But they didn't buy it again. By late 1993, sales were plummeting. Retailers started discounting it heavily. Shelves were full of unsold inventory. The media started calling it a fad, a gimmick. Regular Pepsi drinkers had no reason to switch. Lemon lime drinkers weren't interested in cola taste. Crystal Pepsi was trapped in no man's land. And at Coca-Cola headquarters, they were watching. And they saw an opportunity. Meet Sergio Zyman. You might remember him from another disaster, New Coke. In 1985, as Coca-Cola's chief marketing officer, Zyman helped create one of the biggest product failures in history. But he came back to Coca-Cola in the 90s, and this time he had a different strategy. When Crystal Pepsi launched, Coca-Cola had a choice: compete or destroy. Zyman chose destruction, and his weapon was Tab. Tab was Coca-Cola's Diet Cola from the 70s. By the 90s, it was basically dead. Nobody liked it, nobody bought it. It had a terrible reputation. In December 1992, the same month Crystal Pepsi went national, Coca-Cola launched Tab Clear, a clear Diet Cola. On the surface, it looked like competition, but it wasn't. It was sabotage. Zyman called it the Kamikaze strategy. The plan was brilliant and ruthless. Position Tab Clear right next to Crystal Pepsi on store shelves. Market Tab Clear as a diet fad drink. Emphasize that it's Tab, the unpopular diet brand. Make the advertising intentionally mediocre. Let consumers associate clear cola with diet and fad and Tab, all negative. Watch as Crystal Pepsi's pure and cool image gets contaminated by proximity to uncool Tab Clear. Then let Tab Clear fail, and drag Crystal Pepsi down with it. Tab Clear launched in December 1992. It was discontinued in 1994. It failed spectacularly. Crystal Pepsi also discontinued in 1994. Coca-Cola sacrificed a product they didn't care about to kill a product they feared. Years later, Sergio Zyman bragged about it in his marketing book. The best way to kill a new brand is to position it next to a dying one. It worked perfectly. By 1994, Crystal Pepsi was dead. Less than 2 years from national launch to complete discontinuation. $40 million in marketing, $470 million in first-year sales. All of it gone. Crystal Pepsi became a punchline, a symbol of 90s excess, a remember when conversation starter. It appeared in Saturday Night Live sketches, nostalgia lists, and worst product failures articles. And for 20 years, it stayed dead. Until 2015, when a YouTuber named Kevin Strail, known as the LA Beast, did something insane. He found a bottle of Crystal Pepsi from 1992, 20 years old, expired, probably dangerous, and he drank it on camera. The video went viral, 6 million views. LA Beast started a petition, Bring Back Crystal Pepsi. 37,000 people signed it. The internet exploded with nostalgia. Millennials who grew up in the 90s wanted it back. And in 2016, PepsiCo listened. Crystal Pepsi returned. Limited quantities, nostalgia marketing, same formula. It sold out almost immediately. They brought it back again in 2017 and 2018. Always limited, always nostalgia-driven, never permanent. Because PepsiCo learned the lesson. Novelty sells once. Loyalty sells forever. Crystal Pepsi is a novelty, and novelties don't build empires. So what do we learn from Crystal Pepsi? Lesson 1. Perception is reality. Your brain tastes with your eyes first. The color of food and drink affects how it tastes, not metaphorically, but literally. Marketing couldn't override millions of years of human evolution. Clear meant lemon lime. No amount of advertising could change that. PepsiCo had the data, they had the research, but data doesn't account for how our brains are wired. Lesson 2. Novelty is not loyalty. $470 million in year one sounds like success, but it was just curiosity. People will try anything once, getting them to come back, that's the hard part. Crystal Pepsi was a fad, and fads fade. Lesson 3. Your competitors can poison your well. Coca-Cola's tabbed clear strategy was genius. They didn't try to beat Crystal Pepsi. They didn't create a better clear cola. They created a worse one, positioned it next to Crystal Pepsi on store shelves, and let it contaminate the entire category. Sometimes the best offense isn't competition, it's sabotage. Crystal Pepsi didn't fail because it tasted bad. It failed because it looked wrong. Your eyes told you one thing, your tongue told you another, and your brain couldn't handle the contradiction. And when Coca-Cola realized they couldn't beat it in the market, they joined it, made it look ridiculous, and killed the whole category. Sometimes the best way to win isn't to compete, it's to sabotage. Crystal Pepsi lives on as a nostalgic curiosity, a limited edition throwback, a remember when moment. But the lessons live on too. Don't fight biology with marketing. Don't confuse novelty with loyalty. And never underestimate a competitor willing to sacrifice their own product to kill yours. History is written by the victors, but the most valuable lessons, those are written in red ink. If you want to learn from the mistakes of the past so you don't repeat them in the future, subscribe to Red Ink History. History is written by the victors, but the most valuable lessons, those are written in red ink.